For me, it started on a Tinder date. But I think for everybody else involved, it started at Chris's apartment up in the U, or the house that you guys all lived at, where I think TJ texted me while I was on this date. But it was, I think, TJ, Chris, Carlos, Manuel, John D, and Stanger, who were all together, and hit me up to see if I knew any camping spots up near like Park City area, where like Park City Skate Park and Trailside and Heber are. And yeah, I did. So I was on a hike up in Mill Creek Canyon, and I pretty much was like, we've got to go. I got some stuff to do. So I took her all the way back to like West Valley area, man. And then hauled ass to the U, I guess, probably where, yeah, Manuel and Chris and everybody was living at the time. We just loaded up, and I think we went for an overnighter up to Strawberry Reservoir. I don't know if we skated like that day or if we just went up camping. And then we skated the next day and hit like Trailside and Heber and all those parks. I don't even know how I ended up being the one to like continue it. I think I just kind of did it and just kind of started planning it and threw it up on Facebook and gave some people some dates. And then from there, it just kind of grew over the years. And now we're finally at 10 years.
Woods and drink beers in the woods.
Wow.
Yeah. Here's to beers in the woods, boys.
Beers in the woods.
It's crazy. Yeah, because now, I mean, what, 10 years ago, I was 30 or 23. 23, you guys are maybe a little older, so I mean, fuck, man. Most of us are married and have kids, and I've got 2 kids, and yeah, it's gotten harder over the years, but it's pretty crazy that we all still show up and devote a couple days to like just kind of being dirtbags again. Then Manuel filmed it all and threw together an edit like shortly thereafter, and then yeah, everybody in the Blade scene was just kind of like, why weren't we invited? Can we do that again? For the most part, I just, at least in years past where it's been kind of the same route, I just kind of pick days and put it up there. And then from there, I'm just kind of like, people ask me like, how many people are coming? Who's coming? I'm like, I don't have any idea. Like there's been years where I feel like we've been a little overwhelmed by people and not expected how many people have shown up and kind of had to figure that out. But then there's been years where it's been just kind of like, you know, close 20 of us or so, and that's been fun too. So at this point, man, I'm excited for the fact that it's happening, and whoever shows up is great. And for those first few years, Saturday was a rest day because we would go a little too hard, man. Like there was a few times where like Saturday would come and nobody would leave the campsite because everybody was too hungover. Like Mark Clune fall out of a tree. I've seen some pretty crazy fires that we've had to like probably, you know, take control of and tell people to calm it down a little. There was the year that K-Bar and Ian Fragetti came out and had to took a floaty out into the middle of Strawberry Reservoir and got stuck and had to get towed back in by a boat. And yeah, man, what was it, last year, Kirill and Carlos brought up their mini bikes and people got wrecked on those. I remember, Ben Poling ran into a tree and just destroyed his hip. I don't think he skated the rest of the trip or anything, but yeah, some pretty hilarious times. Good times, yeah.
Babe, it's too small, right?
Of course, good, but like obviously,
Ow, you motherfucker!
It gets hot, man, and you're all skating and stinky. There are times where people want to get short and stuff, and that happens, but man, I look forward to seeing people like Dan Bird up there. He's a good time. Get a couple drinks in him, and Michael, he's always a good time. But yeah, and I appreciate that, man. There's been a lot of good people throughout the years to just come and go. Like Bender showed up for a year, and that was a lot of fun having him. Will has come for several years, and that's always fun. It's cool that rollerblading, even with something as small as the Uinta Camp and Blade, that's so, I feel like Utah-centric, that it still can pull out some of those friends from our neighboring states to come in and just kind of have fun for the weekend. It can be rough being with a bunch of rollerbladers for 72 hours and on, you know, like we're a crass group of individuals. We smoke tough and we drink pretty heavily, so yeah, everybody's allowed to come and invited to come up, but I would put a caveat on that and warn them. Just be prepared to kind of enjoy a little bit of the suck, I guess. It's so hectic for me going into it until I'm like up there, until about like probably Friday afternoon, Friday evening, until people are up there. It's very hectic for me, but I hope that it brings like some sort of sense of community for us. And just like, I know that like as we've gotten older and people have kids and life changes and, you know, people move away, this does seem to be one of the things that the Utah Blade scene has that kind of pulls us all back in. And I know that's been like a weird thing for the past couple years, but it has been nice to have that. Because in the end of it, I do like to think of us as a community. Like I joined kind of the Salt Lake rollerblading scene 15 years ago or something, and it's always been very nice to have that as a friend group. So that's kind of what I hope that it brings to people. It's just kind of a sense of being able to come up and have some fun with some friends and be comfortable in just kind of who you are and what you're about. There are no rules. It's weird to say, but I love to watch my friends crumble. Like just come out of the tent in the morning, just like disheveled, like you're clearly a wreck, man. I don't know why that makes me laugh, but that's good shit, man.
This is my only clip today, man.
I feel like I may get emotional about it, but it has been a nice thing to have. Just for that reason. For like, yeah, I don't see Daniel that much very often, or Michael, not for any fault of anybody's or anything, just because people get busy and stuff like that, but it's been a very nice thing to be able to count on, like, yeah, seeing some friends for that. It's been nice to do this, to know that like I'll have these memories and like have been able to do this thing with my friends, even though like this leading up to it and stuff is usually so stressful. I can't imagine how like Luke Bender does the Colorado road trip, dude. That's crazy to me. But yeah, I mean, I've loved doing it all because it's rollerblading with my friends, man. Done it for 20 years now, and like hopefully we'll do it for many more in some aspect. So yeah, man, just thanks. Thanks for everybody who's come and made it what it is.